Cool.
This was the list. Give me 1 second. Garrett Cole. Yeah.
Alright, it's starting a new stream. So, hi everybody. We had some technical difficulties there. Hopefully what we did before does not get erased.
Welcome back to episode 15, part 2 of Standing Room Only. Oh, actually, episode 13.
13.2.
13.2.
13.2.
So before we got interrupted...
It'll be better than the last time.
Yeah, we were going into free agents, so we might have left off at the Zach Wheeler. Just a brief recap. I'm a big candidate for the Mets trying to get Madison Bumgarner. However, we'll see how much money the Mets are willing to pay Zach Wheeler first, and then to see what offers Madison Bumgarner get on the table. After that, we were going into where Garrett Cole and Strasburg will end up as starting pitchers.
Well, Garrett Cole, I think the Yankees.
Yankees, just to stick it to the Astros.
Stick it to the Astros, although who knows when that'll be.
Yeah,
and
but I think it's going to happen later. It's going to happen in January, February.
Yeah, originally I thought, and this is something that we're talking to nobody, I thought the Yankees tried to tie that up now, sooner rather than later, but with everything going on, which we're about to get to with the Astros, they'll probably have to wait, I feel like.
To said punishment?
Well, wait, just wait. Waiting. And
Strasburg, he's staying with the Nationals. I have a feeling he's testing out the market. He really wants to see. I mean, like you said, after his World Series performance, he deserves to get the money.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? We'll see. I'd be surprised if he signs with another team. If he goes with the Yankees. If he goes, I say this happens. He goes Nationals, Yankees, and then if there is going to be a third team in the race, it might be San Diego.
Strasburg?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see San Diego making a push. They want to win soon with their talent.
They're a young team.
They are a young team. They got Hosmer, they got Tatis.
And Strasburg is from San Diego.
Yeah.
I could see San Diego being a dark horse and trying to get him.
Or do the Astros try to get him to make up for not having Garrett Cole?
Ooh, but now I'm curious to see what punishment the MLB puts down.
Yeah.
This is going to be our next topic on the train.
But, we'll see.
These are my top three things.
What about the Dodgers? Because Ryu's probably leaving.
Although the Dodgers have been the best team in the NL record-wise, they always falter in the playoffs. And I feel like
their manager.
Yeah, and I feel like that would be... I don't think players would be attracted to that. To go... the whole point is to win a World Series. And then the fact that the Dodgers were able to go to 2 World Series and lose them, and then they lost right now in the Division Series.
And do you think any kind of ego plays into it with Strasburg? Maybe not wanting to be second fiddle anymore?
Well, if he goes, he's going to be second fiddle to Kershaw in the regular season.
So maybe that's why he wouldn't go.
Yeah. I don't think, I wouldn't consider the Dodgers to be a landing spot for Strasburg. I see it more of Garrett Cole going there, whether if he wants to play with Anaheim or if he wants to pitch in go back to the National League and pitch. Either way, it comes up to their decision to see what's going to happen.
Do you have any ideas or instincts?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think Garrett, aside from the Yankees, where do you think Garrett Cole could land? He's not going back to Houston.
I feel like Philadelphia's going to make a run for one of the two of them. Or Ryu. Because they're trying to build something in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia could get Ryu.
Yeah.
Just because Ryu, he hasn't been as consistent either, and Ryu isn't the hot, I guess, pitcher on the market now. Mm-hmm. I could also see Bumgarner going to the Phillies.
Great. Good to see him more often.
Yeah. They're not, I don't think the Phillies are going to get one of these top 2 guys.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so now the big scandal. It's scandalous. It's the Houston Astros and Astrogate, I guess is what they're going to end up calling it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to read all this shit.
Is this worse than the PEDs? Or do you think this is just the starting of a crackdown on cheating in the MLB?
Well, let's go into exactly. Basically, long story short, Mike Fiers, former pitcher for the Astros, has become the whistleblower for the fact that the Astros were using a camera in center field, which is why I have my little home security camera on the desk today, just so it's watching all of us. They were using it, and they were stealing the signs. According to Mike Fiers, they set up screens in the tunnel between the dugout and the clubhouse, and you would have people watching that, sending signals. So if it was a changeup, you would hear they would hit bats on the trash can in the dugout. And
man, we should have started off the show like that. We should have had trash cans clinking.
I thought about that, but I was like, oh, would that be doing a disservice to our boys who won awards? Yeah. I don't know. Wish it was 2 separate weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, and you would see, Petro throws it down, 2-3 seconds later, and then fastball, silence. And you sent me a fun video of one of the ball boys looking like he's stealing signs. Yeah. I couldn't figure out how to load it onto here with the video wise, but so basically that's what they're talking about is the fact that while all teams cheat, like the Red Sox were caught for using Apple Watches in the dugout to swipe signals for the Yankees. The Yankees were caught doing things too. Everyone has been caught doing things. You still find second base.
Every team might try to
but using the video system apparently is the bigger of the taboos. Having a camera out there stealing the signs and making it very obvious. And teams, especially the Yankees, have been crying foul for years on them. And apparently the big time this happened was their World Championship 2017 season. Now, they're claiming that they couldn't hear anything during the playoffs, so it didn't affect the Yankees series with them, and it didn't affect the Dodgers series when they won the World Series.
But they still try to cheat. If you look at the home splits, the Astros were 8-1 at home and then 3-6 on the road.
Yeah.
So, those 3 games, I'm not sure if they had cameras set up anywhere. But going into that, the Astros are a talented baseball team. You can't take that away from them. But the way they went around it, of course, with any sports, you always try to get a competitive advantage. It's part of gamesmanship, whatever the case may be. However, they took this too far.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Whether they have a guy I would understand if they had someone banging the trash can, if they had someone in the dugout who was able to pick up on signs.
Yes. If
they're able to see this guy's throwing a fastball and bang that trash can, then you know what? That's fine. Because you did it with your own 2 eyes. But when you use a video camera, have it zoomed in there, and you see everything, then that's where...
That's an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
You're really taking it to the next level then. It's quite something. And while I said earlier, in the original stream tonight, that there's a controversy, and without the Mets actually being involved, somehow we're involved. Apparently, it has come out that people are making wild, but possibly very, in fact, accusations that Carlos Beltran and Alex Cora, manager of the Red Sox, along with AJ Hinch, the manager / possible former manager of the Astros, are the ones who are instrumental in setting up that. Beltran was the major player in the fact of setting up the camera and
he helped. He didn't come up with the idea.
Deciphering the signs and saying put a camera out there. Him and Cora were the ones who were like, do this and we will decipher the signs.
Cora was the bench coach back then, and then Beltran was kind of that player coach to say.
I guess unofficially, sure. Yeah. But so Beltran has said that is this the one that has you guys
graphic. But with Beltran going into this is it is interesting because they said that he was kind of the one who did engineer this plan. Now what the MLB is trying to figure out is what is the proper punishment.
Beltran said, I'm not aware of the camera. We were studying the opposition. We study the opposition every day, and we would have a lot of people studying pictures from the opposition, and that is the only technology that we use. So he's denying it emphatically.
Yeah.
But now, moving on to the punishment issue, real quick, September, it's 2017, the Red Sox were fined for an undisclosed amount for using the Apple Watches. The Yankees paid a similar undisclosed amount for improper usage of dugout phones. And Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, said at the time, future violations of this type will be subject to more serious sanctions, including the possible loss of draft picks.
Wow.
So that's quite something.
Draft picks aren't going to do anything, man.
Exactly, it's not.
If you tell me you could win the World Series by cheating, whether it's using your phone, camera, and outfield, whatever the case may be, and you get a chance to win a World Series, and your only repercussion is that you lose a draft pick, no.
Yeah.
That's...
So what do you think the punishment should be?
Well, we were talking about this a lot the other day, and I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. Because you have players who were there in 2017 who are still there, as far as executives, coaches, and players. Then you have a lot of people you probably have people who retired, and then you have people who are now at other organizations. That's the trickier part.
Where you have to hurt the Houston Astros is not the players that were involved or former players. You have to hurt them in the win column with the roster that they have now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this could be extreme. You can... We lost the stream again?
Are we live?
Let me double check.
What the fuck?
Let's go to standing room only. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we are still live. No, it says still live, episode 13. Click on the link. Yeah, we're good. Let's go. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
So it still says live here.
Did my hands just go up?
No, let's double check. I mean, I put my hands up.
No,
as
it's
well.
about to happen.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Okay,
There we
good.
go.
So we're
So
still,
good. We're still on there. So you have to hurt them in the win columns. Whether it's suspending their players, you know what? You still have your core there with Springer, Altuve, and Correa. Maybe suspend them for 30 games.
Yeah,
or suspend,
and Gurriel. You have a lot of
or
guys.
suspend any of those players that were from that 27 championship team. 30 games.
Well, I feel like...
I think that will definitely hurt them in the win column.
I feel like it should be multi-leveled and
or maybe, I mean, I doubt this will ever happen, but you give them like 5 losses to start off the year or something like that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But
I doubt that would happen.
I mean, Deflategate is actually something that you can kind of look at to see what someone might do. You know, Brady didn't play half the season, basically. It didn't hurt them in the end, but he's still there. Other players didn't have to go through that, but that was a very quarterback-specific thing. I think you suspend all the guys who are still there for 30 games without pay.
I think that's fair.
I think the guys who have moved on to other teams, including the ones that are about to be signed, or including managers, coaches such as Beltran, they don't get suspended for games, they get docked pay. So that you're not actually hurting the organization.
Well, I think you find them.
Yeah, you find them and you dock their pay. You find everyone individually and an organization as a whole, and you dock their pay. For those who are on other teams, so that people like the Mets aren't hurting because we have nothing to do with it. I think as far as AJ Hinch, their GM at the time, which I can't remember his name, and their owner should all get a year suspension from Major League Baseball. Yep. Regardless, and of course fines for the organization.
Yeah, you have to affect the organization for the next 2-3
and
years.
You take away draft picks, which right now with the shape their team is in, they're a young team still. Yeah, they're fine, and also retired players should get docked their pension for a month.
But you need to affect them somehow in the win column, and I think this would be the best way to go around it.
If you lose all those players in 2017 that are still there, you will affect their win column. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be troublesome if it actually ends up affecting the Mets in some way. If Beltran gets some kind of harsh, but if he's I doubt it because the players' union is going to be on his side and they are rigorous with everything. But if someone comes out, there was also speculation. I brought this up and I saw it on MLB Network. What if Taubman, the executive who was fired for yelling at the woman reporter, what if he decides to start talking some shit? What if he starts blowing whistles? What if other people who have been burned by the Astros want to start? It might become a larger thing. Someone like Beltran and someone like Cora. It's going to be. I feel like this isn't going to be done by opening day. No,
it's going to be a topic in the 2020 season,
and that's going to loom over us. And it's such a Mets thing that happened to us.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything wrong, and yet we're going to have this cloud over us.
It's the one that always messes it up for everyone else.
And does that, if indeed this is true about Beltran, if he was one of the masterminds, does it taint or affect in any negative way your opinion and outlook on him?
It hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Up until I would say he signed with the Astros. He was still a fan favorite. I mean, he was one of my favorite players with the Mets. And
that's your jersey.
This is my jersey as a
kid.
Your
first jersey.
Yeah, so I'm a big Beltran fan. I think it will hurt his legacy down the line. Absolutely. If this comes out as, depending if Carlos Beltran had such a major role in this.
Do you think an asterisk does anything? I asked you that the other day. You put an asterisk against
it's so bullshit. Nothing's gonna. What is an asterisk gonna do, man?
I mean, the White Sox in the 20s, they threw shit. I mean, it stained them.
Yeah, but no one looks at the White Sox. No one looks at who won the World Series in 1920.
Baseball, the older generation does. I think this is something that could stick potentially. This is a dynasty. This is one of the best young teams in a long time. This will have ripple effects for years, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine the 99 Yankees have an asterisk against them, and they should, for all the steroids they use, but all those teams are doing it. And that's another question. Are other teams going to be afraid to speak out about this because they're doing the same shit that we don't know about?
There's teams that do cheat. I mean, whether they do it as obvious as making trash cans or whatever the case is, you don't know about that as a fan. But going into this, the number one thing to do is to hurt them in the win column. You're not going to hurt them. You think that Houston Astros are going to care if there's an asterisk next to their World Series? No.
Someone threw out something on ESPN. Do you make them ineligible for the postseason this year? No matter how many games they win, with this group of people, probably 100. Do you do that?
Shattered my ears.
Sorry, sir.
Man, that's weird. Then what's the point of playing?
I would say yes.
Why?
And to be completely honest, if you decide to cheat in any fashion and you're caught, you have to be reprimanded in some fashion that's gonna set the precedent going forward, and that would send the largest message possible.
Well, do you think it's cheating that they're stealing signs, or the way that they went about it?
The way that they went about it.
Okay, so you think making them ineligible for the playoffs?
Because they can't just not play the whole entire season. They wouldn't just...
Yeah, I feel like that would be a huge thing to happen in the MLB, but...
It would set the tone that you can't do this. It would be the most extreme form.
It will set a tone, but then what's the point of these guys playing? You're better off just putting in all your prospects and minor league players and then go 0-1.
And that hurts the people who weren't on the team then.
That's true too.
Who are on the team now.
Yeah.
Again, this would be the most extreme form.
Yeah.
To set the tone for.
I wouldn't do it just for that reason alone. I don't want to punish anyone who doesn't deserve to be punished.
So then, how do you punish the ones that deserve it without negatively affecting whatever teams they are?
I mean, they're going to be negatively affected regardless. Well, but I feel like they're the type of team that even if all those players don't play for them,
or maybe you don't let them sign a free agent this year.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that would be interesting because then they're definitely not getting Cole back. But I think even that organization still has enough depth to not sign a free agent and still compete in the NL West and AL West.
Do you think there's a possibility that nothing really happens? A couple of fines and they brush it under the carpet.
That I think will happen.
Yeah, it's been notorious with the MLB.
Yep.
It might just be a slap on the wrist. We'll see.
We'll see. But there's a team that's really, really butthurt about this.
The Yankees.
Yeah.
What was that? I sent you one meme.
Well, yeah.
The pipe dream.
Well, that's going to come later. So, Cashman said, I don't think it's a technology question alone. It's just conduct. You decide to play by the rules or you don't. And if you don't, there's consequences. You're putting yourself at risk, whether it's future employment, current employment, or sanctions, or what have you. It's not a technology question as much as how you want to operate.
Hold on. So you're adding this dramatic tone to it, but he's completely right.
He's right, but consider the source, too. Sometimes the pot calling the kettle black might be making a good point, but there's still the pot calling the kettle black. The Yankees were fined in 2017 for cheating. Yes, it wasn't with technology. This takes it to a next level. Mm-hmm. This is worse. They also had a dynasty in the 90s where the majority of the 25 players were all juicing it, and they swept it under the carpet. They have a closer who pistol whipped his girlfriend, and they gave him a huge contract twice. Actually, 3 times. And and that's against the rules. Like, you have a lot of... for me, it's just... It's hypocritical on their part. Michael K. Victor texted me, he's like, turn to Michael K. show. And I'm watching it, and Michael K's crying and screaming, and like he's been personally offended by something. I'm like, bitch, you guys won the World Series because a kid reached over, took a home run, took a double and turned into a home run, and nothing happened. But you want to start crying about this?
No, it's because Yankee fans... They probably... No, not... I mean, this is... going into the Yankees... What was that? Oh, no. I think the Yankees are tired of finishing in second place. And that's what's going on in the MLB.
Anyone's going to feel tired.
No, but I think the Yankees aren't used to this because you have that golden era of the 90s Yankees.
They're entitled.
2000. Yeah, a little bit after winning the 2009 World Series. Or was it 2008 that they won? 2009. 2009 that they won.
And they haven't appeared for a decade.
Yeah, I think they're just in panic mode because they're like, whoa, what's going on? We're not the best team anymore.
They're getting frustrated.
I mean, I like when Aaron Judge said, he goes, wait, what? And that was it. Like, that's classy. That's classy. That's very classy. But then here's something you sent me, sir. You want to read that?
This is one. I have a list of demands for Major League Baseball. This was tweeted by Eric Hobbs. Take away the 2017 World Series title. Remove Altuve's MVP. Replay the 17 World Series with the Yankees LA. Disband the Astros. Award Garrett Cole to the Yankees and make Houston pay the salary of Cole's choosing.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Imprison AJ Hinch. Oh, this is a little like a satire right here. This is a little extreme, yeah.
But I've heard people start crying that they should play the World Series over again.
That is.
I'm from the Bronx. I got a lot of friends on social media with that, and they're like, "We deserve to have a chance at the World Series."
No.
Agreed.
You know what? If you were on that 2017, even if the Astros cheated, you still lost. That's what it is. Yeah. It's part of the game now. I mean, I don't think any like major sport or any sport, as a matter of fact, would be like, it's impossible for it to be flawless in terms of not having cheaters, not having things sway the game. There's always going to be an advantage somewhere.
I mean, look, if they're cheating, they're probably cheating now. The Nationals still beat them.
Yeah, so it's your job it's your job as a competitor to try to, push past that. That's the whole point of sports. That's why you think, I feel like this mentality is like, oh, everyone deserves a participation ribbon at this point. It's like, why do the Dodgers deserve to replay the World Series that they lost?
Yeah.
Like,
because they want a chance to beat the Dodgers.
Of course.
They want a choke shot.
I think it is 2017 postseason. Yeah, maybe it could just be overlooked or the cases, or it's always going to have this asterisk next to it. But it's ridiculous to say let's replay.
You also have 20 years of asterisks from the steroid age.
Yeah.
You have the home run king with an asterisk. He's still the home run king.
Yeah.
I prefer him not to be, but
that's what it is until the next person.
I mean, the Astros cheated in another year where Mike Scott was scuffing the ball, and it took him 20 years to come out and say he did. Everyone's acting like he didn't, but that team. Oh, the 1986 Mets! They still beat them.
Yeah.
They played a 16-inning game or whatever it was and beat them in Game 6 of the NLCS back when they were in the NL still, and they beat them at least one New York team beats a cheating Astros.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. So moving on to some funny stuff, real quick. I'm a troll. Am I a troll?
Yes, you are a troll.
So
I don't know. I think ever since doing this show, I've become a very I've started just to enjoy the game rather than being a very biased Mets fan.
That's why.
Yeah, but I think if anything, that completes the show is the fact that you just sort of like Mets, screw everyone else.
Well, I'm not Mets. Like Michael K is like, But I mean, I am. I'm angry. I'm bitter.
Yeah, and you're definitely going to have to read that. There's no way
this is easy.
I can see it from here.
So I was watching the Nationals World Series pathetic parade. It was a terrible parade. And so Asdrubal Cabrera, former Met.
Yep.
You remember him? No. So he was a former Met. And so what happened in 2016, I believe it was he was playing shortstop, and they wanted to move him to second base. And he was like, I want to trade. I don't want to play second base, blah, blah. And then eventually he's like, okay, I'll play at second base. It's the only way I'm going to be a starter, blah, blah, blah. And so now he's the second baseman for the Nationals.
And he won a World Series.
And so if you look really closely at the very bottom of the screen, I wrote, "Aren't you glad the Mets moved you to second base?" Did he reply? No. Why? Because he's a millionaire and he won the World Series and I'm a douchebag at home. But, of course, Victor helped me with the trolling and he reposted it on the Stanley Ramoli NY social media. So thank you, Victor, for helping.
No problem.
And one final troll. So the Mets sent out to all the people who bought a lot of tickets a quiz, a questionnaire to find out not how our experience was at the stadium, to find out how much we knew about which sponsored who. Like Bob's Furniture, Lexus.
Do they still have the Coca-Cola? Do they still have the Cholula hot sauce?
Yeah. Chick-fil-A, where there's not a Chick-fil-A at the fucking stadium. And so Ford, who does what? So one of the, you can barely see this terrible screen grab, or I think I took a picture of it. I was like, it says, "Which brand or companies do you associate with the New York Mets?" And so the first thing I put was Bernie Madoff Investment Security.
Shake Shack.
But you get that, right? The Bernie Madoff thing? You know about the greatest Ponzi scheme in history, Bernie Madoff? Well, the Mets
were affiliated. They were schemed.
He's good friends with the Wilpons. Okay. And while they were found not to have been, they weren't implicated in what happened, they did have to pay back money to people who had less money, but then also made some money off of it in the settlement. What I find fascinating is that they fired 5 chief financial advisors over a span of like 15 years who all went to Fred and Jeff and said, "The returns are too steady, we have to look at this."
Wow.
Yeah.
Need no more be said.
The question is, did you submit that?
I did.
Yeah, yes. I hope more fans submitted that.
So it's almost Thanksgiving, and apparently there's a problem in Tom's River.
Yeah, turkeys took over time.
And so Todd Frazier is very passionate about this. You want to take this, Ash?
Oh my gosh. Animal control needs to step up and move these animals ASAP. State Wildlife Control needs to figure it out. What is it going to take? What is it going to take, guys?
It's fucking turkeys. Just Thanksgiving's coming. I mean, you shouldn't kill. I don't know. I mean, I'm a hypocrite because I eat meat.
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing.
But I love animals. They're in Staten Island too, and guess what? I just talked to them. I'm serious.
What do they respond?
Yeah.
What do they say to you?
No, I mean, I'm like, and I like to think that they're saying, "Hey, I'm not attacking you. You're cool." But apparently, people are being attacked in Tom's River. The poor people. So anyway, Todd Frazier went on the news. I couldn't find the clip, but he went on the news. He's passionate about it.
Well, maybe he should, just swing the bat at him, let the bat fly, and, they'll all just go running.
But let's see.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point. We don't want to actually hurt them. We just want to, get them a little scared.
So.
Oh, this is Shayne's favorite. Mets.
Do you know who Jessica Mendoza is?
No, please tell
me. From the ESPN broadcast?
Oh, okay.
She is the Babe Ruth of softball. She's multi-time Olympic gold champion. She's also a special advisor for the Mets. She's who I wanted for manager. And I came across this picture on her Instagram of her instructing some of the single A guys and double A guys down in Florida. And just, is there anything more breathtaking than a skilled baseball player, softball player, baseball player in a jersey who's a beautiful
When was this picture taken?
Like last week. And the day I sent it to you, I was like, star eyes.
I was going to say, just put some hearts in your eyes right now,
Just, I love her. She should be the manager.
Are you going to talk turkey to her?
I could. See, that's where,
Please quit while you're ahead.
Some of your things. Alright, so next up, we're not getting political because it's not a political show, but long story short, bail for lesser crimes in New York City is ending January 1st. And so the mayor and the city council feels like they need a way to entice lesser crime, not criminals to show up for their next court dates.
Man, that's a terrible picture of de Blasio in a Mets uniform.
I think all of them are.
What's with the...
I don't know.
I think he's wearing a collared shirt, but
Mr. Met used to... Oh, it's a collared shirt, but Mr. Met used to have...
Prepared.
No, he didn't.
Not a very athletic look there.
No. But
someone
in any
needs to
case...
hook him up with some merch. The proper merch.
The proper merch, like Jessica Mendoza has. Anyway, so it always comes back to her. But anyway, so one of the things they're offering Mets these lesser criminals for minor crimes are free Mets tickets.
So should I just go commit a minor crime so that I can get some free Mets tickets?
That's all, but you have to show up to your court date to get them.
I wouldn't mind.
Let's do some petty crime, guys.
Met fans are what pissed off. It's probably going to be a Thursday afternoon game where all the school kids are out there. And it's like...
This is what you shouldn't do.
Yeah, it's going to be like, hey,
you know what? Perfect example.
This popcorn is pretty expensive. I got some out in my tinted van. You want to come on out, kids?
Don't take candy from strangers.
No.
Or popcorn.
They don't.
Just don't.
Steal from them. But it's just a very Mets thing to do. To just be like, okay...
Well, you know why they're doing this? Because they can make money off concessions.
Oh yeah.
It's not even the price of tickets anymore. It's whatever you buy.
Concessions are insane.
It's your chicken tenders and
yeah.
souvenir Coke and whatever else.
You know what? Wherever you fall on the spectrum politically, you might agree with bail ending, you might not. That's not for us to say. But like, I don't really think Mets tickets are going to entice anyone to show up to the date. I think it's just kind of a futile.
What do you think would entice them?
I don't know.
Visa gift card.
A what?
A Visa gift card with actual money on it that you can, use for anything.
Yeah, but
not just.
I think if you're found innocent, it's expunged from your record regardless. You never got arrested. You never went on trial. If you're found innocent, you're expunged. Yeah. Okay. Because it's a minor thing, and where people are like, oh my god, child molesters and killers are gonna be there. It's not those crimes. It's like,
what is it, like marijuana possession?
Yeah, things like that. So I think that would.
Which I mean, I think I've smelled marijuana in the ballpark. So
yeah, especially now with Juul.
Yeah,
marijuana Juul smells like marijuana. But anyway, so finally, our second to last segment. It's one that we're starting. It's called BVWTF. The latest dumb shit that Brody Van Fuckface has said. My favorite quote for this week is, quote, center field is not as easy as waking up in the morning and finding a solution.
Man, sorry, I keep moving around. The seat's a little uncomfortable. I've been fidgeting this seat around so much.
You're stealing Brody Van Fuckface's thunder, though. Center field is not as easy as waking up in the morning and finding a solution. Explain this to me.
What does that mean?
I don't... My brain does not compute the two things. I just want to know what possessed him to say this.
He's a fucking moron.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, Brody.
All right.
It's a Brody quote.
Time for the best segment. Mets memes and baseball memes.
Yeah, they just become MLB memes. Breaking news. Philadelphia releases Bryce Harper in hopes of winning a World Series next season. I love that one.
That's pretty
That was a good one.
Yikes.
And going back to our last topic.
This is, you're going to have to read it.
Citi Field, quote, it's Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling. Keith is saying, Citi Field welcomes Rikers Island today. Sitting here at section 205. Ron, definitely a good idea, Keith. So if you have a small child, it would be a good idea to keep that kid away from section 205.
Do you think that they're going to section off these criminals, or they're just going to kind of give them...
I think they're going to get the upper deck where...
They're going to get nosebleeds. They're
going to be where you sit.
They're going to get the $6.
Well,
standing room only is the way to go.
At least I've been, practicing my kickboxing.
That's true. You're good.
It'll come in.
You'll probably get banned from the stadium.
Oh, look.
I mean, all I have to do is just do, cute little...
Like, hi.
Hey.
Don't you recognize me from standing room only?
What's up, bud? Oh, sorry. We got a fan up here. Oh, what does that say?
I can't wait for that night at Citi Field.
Oh my gosh. I mean, at least they'll be wearing the right colors.
Facts!
Damn, we had a lot of memes from this topic.
And here is my favorite from this topic. And speaking of cats...
Hello!
Hey, what's up, Hannah?
You want to read that, Ashley?
De Blasio is bringing criminals to the Mets game, so the Wilpons have been stealing your money for decades.
So, the Wilpons are stealing your money for decades. I love this cat meme.
Yeah.
It's
perfect timing. I think this is one of my favorite meme formats.
It is.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Have you seen the one with Trump's face in there?
Hi, baby. I gotta clean your blood. All right. Victor, you said this one.
Yeah, this is a Drake meme. So it's Drake wearing a Houston Astros fitted. Hard work and playing games, nah. Metal trash can and camera out in center field. You got it.
Yeah, buddy. And this goes right along with that.
And then breaking news: first picture of Astros videographer released.
Bill check. Sorry, Boston, but it's the truth. And I thought we'd end on a cute one.
This is the Degrominator.
Oh God, Hannah.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
It's a good meme.
It's sweet. It's very sweet.
Cute meme. Cute meme.
So this was quite a long one with a lot of technical difficulties, but a fun one.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Ashley.
Yes, Ashley, thank you. Thank you, Victor.
Anything you want to say before we head off or no?